Hello, and thanks for attending this Help New Mexico CAP60 training. Today we are going to cover Client Contact Tracking, a new mandatory tracking system for CAP60 users. Why would we track client information if we are not providing services? Help New Mexico employees spend a large amount of time contacting and screening potential clients. Program reporting mechanisms don't always account for all that hard work. The CAP60 database will help us to document our screening efforts and identify our client contact attempts. Don't forget, because the client information is already in our system, this will make the intake process a lot easier if the client is eligible for services in the future. Let's take a look at the steps required to complete this process. Step 1. Access the Front Desk tab in CAP60 and search for the client in the existing client list. Step 2. Add a new non-client contact and complete the information fields. Step 3. Notate the encounter, select the topics discussed, and the reason services were not provided at this time. The appointment field is not necessary unless requested by the client. The topic option lists available programs and should be selected based on the encounter. This is an overview of the client contact tracking process. Step 1 includes accessing CAP60 and searching the database to see if the client has already been entered into the system. This prevents duplicate entries. First, select the Front Desk tab located at the top of the CAP60 homepage. Enter the client information that you have available. It is not required to fill in all of the fields. I am entering the first name, last name, and birth date of my client. Once you have completed this, then go ahead and select the filter key. If no search results appear, then the client is not currently in our database, and we must create a new entry by selecting the Add key. Step 2 includes adding the client to CAP60 and filling out the required personal information fields. The first part of this process is selecting the Add key, like we did in the previous step. Once the information screen becomes available, you can start to fill out all of the required client information, starting with the date. The agency field has a drop-down, and you're going to always select Help New Mexico CAP when you're dealing with OEE clients. The type has many options as well. You're never going to want to select the option Not Assigned. Because we're using a telephone, we're going to utilize the telephone option as our type. The middle name is not required. However, all information is helpful. Make sure you get all of the personal information, including the phone number, street address, city, state, zip, and county of the client. Everything should be listed on the drop-down as required. Please do not leave any of the client information fields empty. Go ahead and select the location, which is the office that you're utilizing to contact the client or for the client to contact you. The gender information is also required, and also include the birth date. Step 3 includes notating the encounter by adding notes and topics discussed, and also identifying why Help New Mexico was unable to provide services at this time. First, the Reason Denied field includes a drop-down with options to define the contact. include your notes in the notation field and select the appropriate option. Remember that not assigned cannot be used for any fields in CAP60. This alters our reporting data and should be avoided at all times. Select the appropriate topics from the topics field. More than one option can be selected. Once you are finished, select the Save or Save in New key. Let's do a quick review of the Reason Denied drop-down options. Most of our contacts fit under one of these categories: not assigned, no program funding, not income eligible, out of the service area, unable to serve, and unsustainable funds. Unable to serve will be the option that is primarily used. The unsustainable funds and no program funding options should only be used when directed by a supervisor. The not assigned option is not to be used at any time. Now a moment to review case notes. It is important that your case notes are as detailed as possible. These notes should include the reason for contact, the program information you provided, the reason we were unable to provide services at this time, and specific referral information. This includes the name and contact information of the referral provided. Remember, all case notes are different, but the more specific you are, the easier it will be to engage the client in the future. Just a quick reminder that the appointment field is not required to be completed for client contact tracking, unless requested by the client. It is always important to remember to save the client information once you have completed the form. You can do this by selecting the Save button in the upper left-hand corner of the form. If you are inputting data for several clients, select the Save and New button and it will bring you to a new client input screen. Remember, Help New Mexico employees require specific permissions for client contact tracking. Be sure to request access from your supervisor if you will be inputting the contacts for your office. Let's take just another moment to review the process. Step 1. Access the Front Desk tab in CAP60 and search for the client in the existing client list. Step 2. Add a new client and fill out the non-client information fields. Step 3. Notate the encounter and select the topics discussed and reason services were not provided. If you have any questions regarding this process, please contact your direct supervisor or the training and development team. Thank you for attending this Help New Mexico CAP60 update. Please remember to sign and complete your acknowledgement form and return it to the training and development team at your earliest convenience. Have a great day.